Welcome to my daily practice at Wendy Coad Art. If you find this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life and I am excited to invite you into my studio and show you my art practice. I'm going to start painting today, as I almost always do, but I thought I'd just give you a little insight into my planning. I can come into my studio every day and paint as happy as a clam. But I want to be making use of this time and taking my work and my my processes further. So any time is a good time to just sit down and start to plan. I started by doing a weekly plan. It was really just, what am I spending my time on during the week? Of course, I paint, but there's so many other things to do just in and around the studio, and then life itself, of course. And I do have some goals for the year, for the upcoming, future. And I decided that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to plan my next 12 months, actually, so that I could more efficiently get closer to my goals. Now, I'm very flexible at this point in my career and in my life. I am not driven to, aspire to add too many more things into my life. Nice little rhythm going. However, I do want to be at a different place in a year. I want to move forward. I've just started with the videos. I'm loving it. I want to move forward. I have a selection of paintings now. I love them. I want to move forward. So I just thought I'd give you a little view into my process here. So what I've done is I brain dumped. I listed everything that I do in a day and a week, all the activities, and I just didn't put them in any particular order. I got them out. I listed them, wrote them down, got them out of my brain, which was good. Then I kind of divided them into two basic sections. One is business and career, and the other is life in general. So all of the tasks and the recreation and the time with family and friends, et cetera, et cetera. So I color coded them, taking them down now, so I can get to the paintings below. So that was the first batch. I doubled up on the paper because I was working on top of my paintings and I did not want to get magic marker into my paintings. So then I had the two groups, work and play. Just keep it simple, just two categories. I work, I play. And I itemized everything under work, and then I itemized everything under play. And the play part is easy. It's just taking care of the health issue things, and the exercise, and like I said, family and friends. But the work, there's a variety of things that I am doing or I want to do within the next year. It's the want to do within the next year, moving forward. Of course, I want to grow and expand, and and add on to what I'm already doing. But I can't, just keep piling things into. Time is infinite, but on a daily basis, it's quite finite. So I did that, and then I prioritized them. So the prioritization was very, very useful and important, and it came down to 4 categories that I wanted to work on. One was the painting and the YouTube. Another was writing, and also I want to just join a platform where I can put some of this outside of YouTube. Although, I'm very happy with where I'm at now, but I'd like to maybe make some of the writing available. So that's writing. And then another category is the social media, which is YouTube is one of, but I'm not very active on many of the others except for recreationally, and that's just starting to take up too much time. I'd rather it be more, I don't know, purpose driven. So I'm going to take a look at that. And of course, I've done all of these things at various times for various reasons. So I do have a little bit of a head start, but I haven't really done any campaigns or anything in a very, organized way. So time to get organized. Oh, and I just took down the calendar. I do want to travel. Well, if I'm going to travel, then I'm going to have to deal with pacing and, having materials that I can work with on while I travel, or I have to make the decision, not to do that at all, just to have fun and travel. Except I want to travel for, not an extensive period of time, but enough time that I don't want to be stressed about it either. So I'd like to have a little bit of, work ahead of time. So I'm not even thinking about that. So that's it. And behind my schedule are my paintings, which need to be done, need to be worked on today. So let's get busy. I'm very happy with having marked all of this down, and I just want to give you one last view. This is my weekly calendar, and I have color coded the times that I have set specifically for certain tasks and exercise and all those good things, and then times that are flexible but that are designated to working on either the painting or the writing or the various platforms, and I just feel a whole lot easier, a whole lot less stressed, because I've gotten things down on paper. I kind of know where I'm going, and I also decided to dedicate. Of course, I paint every day, but I also decided to dedicate one day for one set of tasks. So instead of chipping away at the task over the 4 or 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, some weeks. So anyways, I thought I'd just add that as well. Now, to change gears, I am looking at these paintings. It's been an interesting process for me because I never really paid attention to and articulated as I was in process what my process is. And so now I'm like, oh, I do this pretty consistently. Seemed to be something new for me to have that realization. And there's a certain comfort in that, I have to say. And one of the things that's consistent is that I get to this point. It's kind of the middle point. I mean, there's the beginning and there's the end of the painting process, and then there's the middle, which can be expanded or contracted. It just depends. It just depends on how well things are going. And this middle point, I thought I was just like paying attention to the beginning. Yeah, it's easy. Just put something down. You have a problem, what to do next. And then at the end, which is sometimes agonizing because it's the end, and I'm never really 100% sure. I mean, occasionally, but it's really tough to be 100% sure. And and then there's this long middle, or there can be this long middle where I have all kinds of thoughts and experiences, emotions, and it's a relationship with these paintings. So I'm explaining all this because I looked at this wall and I thought, oh, I'm in the middle. I'm in that middle point, and I'm starting to feel the middle feelings, which are, oh, I like it. Should I change it? Should I paint over some of the things that are already happening? Just those questions. Now, I don't. There are no answers, definitive answers to those questions. Not in my process, and that's okay. But to notice it is kind of an interesting sensation, I guess I would say. Now, having said that, I still have to get to the work. And let me bring out some of my paint here. I think I need a brush. I got some really nice larger brushes from tell me. So I found a box I had stored, and inside were some of my paint brushes from another studio. I made a couple of studio moves in the last few years, and I was like, it's kind of like meeting old friends by surprise. I was like, oh, these brushes, where have they been? Somebody asked me about mixing paint. I have not been mixing paint uh, for I don't know, the last few weeks or months. And there's no reason for that, except I just didn't have I don't know, I just didn't have the desire to mix the paint. And I still don't. I still am working with pretty solid colors from the tube, I mean. And this is one that I have obviously I spent some time thinning some of these, and apparently not quite thin enough. Let me just get my little tool here. And my tea. Tea is also a tool in the studio. Keeps me going. It's just herbal tea, which I love. I get a kind of a ginger and turmeric blend. That's pretty popular these days. All right. So I'm going to start over here. Blues. I don't know what it is about some colors. So blues and reds and oranges are very easy to work with. And for me, I'm not a landscape painter, as you can see, but for me, greens are very difficult. And I think that's true for a lot of artists outside of landscape painters. Well, I'm sure greens are difficult for landscape painters. You know, they're just taking on the big job. So I'm going to use blue on these. It's quite a nice blue. And once I get a color on my brush and start working with it, then the middle, the beginning, the middle, end, whatever the phase is, whatever the stall was in my thoughts about the painting, it just vanishes. It just disappears. Instead of being a little tentative, I just want to just go. Let's get this paint on. Let's get this party started. Arted. All right. Someone also commented about putting the paint directly onto the brush from the tube. Why don't I put the paint in a container and then dip the brush into the container and then put the paint on the paper? Well, because I can just skip that middle ground, the paint into another container from the tube. I can skip that middle ground, and it doesn't seem to have any adverse effect. And the benefit is that I don't have to clean out another container, or I don't have to try to scrape paint out of another container. It just goes right onto the brush, and then what's right on the brush just goes right onto the page, the paper. I thought I might not paint on these anymore, but here I am. I like how the blue kind of blends into the ocean colors. I also like how the blue, when put onto the land, I'm really altering the landscape. It's a map. It's not really, it's not, it's kind of like a menu. You don't eat the menu. It's it's a map of what the food that is offered at a restaurant is. And this is not land. This is you know, image of what has been is being described as the land and the location, the surrounding areas, and so it's interesting though, because symbolically, it is land. Symbolically, it we've trained and come to um, we've trained and come to take these markers and these images as truth or as something uh, real, and they're not really. I mean, they're real. It's real paper. There's real ink on the paper, but that's all that's real. The rest of it is kind of an imaginary drawing. But we would rely on that. So I guess I'm making a case for painting, drawing, um, and the ability for it to working with our senses, our visual sense, take us or allow us to imagine things that are not there, that are not real, that are more emotions, that are more designs, that are more patterns. It's pretty amazing. It's also amazing that, this is what I get to do. And I have a lot of gratitude around that. I am grateful to be able to do it, my painting. I'm grateful to be able to show you my painting and my painting process. And so it's kind of a win-win. I do worry about corners sometimes. I mean, I'm not sure if it seems that way. I'm just going to pay attention. Sometimes it's really nice to have the space in the corners, and sometimes corners just need some attention, some TLC. It changes everything. I've got some really goopy drips here. I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave it. They're kind of wonderful. Ooh, I really like when I have all my paintings kind of at the same stage in the process. Although I like it when they're not at the same stage. Something to like about everything. The reason I like when they're all at the same stage is that this is what I do. I can just go around, paint, turn, paint, turn, paint, turn, until I get to the point where I really do have to wait for the paint to dry. All right. Ooh, this looks like a good spot for this color as well. So happy to be reunited with one of my favorite brushes. I don't know where I got this brush. It's a hardware brush, like a lot of my brushes are. And it's, threadbare. It's really getting worn down by use. Yeah, you can actually wear these out, and they get a very fine edge, uh, and it does affect how the paint is laid down. I don't know that the brush manufacturer really factors any of the fine art issues in. That's nice. And last but not least, the last two on this side. I might add a little background. I do want to have some solid brush strokes. And then I'm going to just work out some of the paint right here on the surface. Put some of the paint that's left on my brush. Add some water. It's very faint. It'll just be very, very light background, like shades, tints. Well, I think my work here is done. There's not another surface that I can see to work on. Well, there's the tables, but they're covered right now. So I'll get to them the next time. Well, thank you very much for being with me today. It's a pleasure to have you in my studio. And I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Don't forget to go and make some art. So I'm so happy that you are joining me today, and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day-to-day as an artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here.